Hey, it's your biggest fan here, Dylan51, using the MPL, which is really weird because I usually use the Famous or something like that. So I have no idea why I picked it, but it's a kind of average gameplay for me. Anyway, I do want to talk about a topic which I did talk about in a previous video, but only for a brief moment, and I didn't really get down my points. But now I decided, well, I actually want to get down all my points. I actually want to kind of lay this out on the table, spread all my cards. And that topic was actually going to the cinema. And just before I jump into even a deeper topic kind of thing, I don't know how I just said that, but I just want to clarify what the norm was for me. And personally, I thought that people went to the cinema alone all the time until recently, a couple of weeks ago. I thought that they would watch something in the cinema like they would on the TV, like they would on a computer, like they would on an iPod alone. Well, I just thought it was the norm. I didn't really think, oh well, only people who go to the cinema go alone. But I never really noticed it, and I just it was just one of those moments where you thought, well, it's not really anything to worry about. If I I could easily go to the cinema alone without any worries or anything like that. But recently I thought, well, wow, a lot of people go to the cinema alone, unless this is what I used to think, unless it was a birthday party event, just special events like that, or unless I was really young and I couldn't say I was 5 years old and I couldn't see a PG-13 movie, and then I would need to be accompanied by someone 13 or above or something like that. And usually I thought, well, people don't really interact. It makes more sense to go alone. To me, it's a dark room, you don't really interact with anyone, you just watch a screen. I don't know why you have to watch a screen with someone else. And then this is kind of where the benefits of being alone is, because you don't have to work around schedules. For example, no, you don't have to work around, I won't give any examples, but you don't have to work around schedules, which means you're more free to work around your own schedules, and therefore kind of less conflicts, and it's easier to kind of work out what films to work. It puts you more in control, I think. And if there's a horror film, it adds more effect to it, because you feel more vulnerable. You don't have your friends there for a company or anything like that. So it's just one of those things where you think, it adds more effect because you're only there to see the film and whatnot, and kind of you're on your own time. You're set to see something, and that's it. And I know that some people kind of fall under peer pressure from friends before films, or after films, to do anything they want or whatever, like I know, hang out or something like that. And that reminds me of a story because of a previous event when I went to go see a film. But I'll probably tell you guys that later, eventually, sometime, somehow. And then another thing is, you don't have to worry if a friend has already seen it, because I know that sometimes people are like, oh yeah, I want to go see Barbie or whatever. But then if their friend has already seen it, then it kind of defeats the purpose of you seeing it somehow. I don't know how people think like that, but if a friend hasn't, you don't have to worry if a friend has or hasn't seen it, because obviously you're going on alone. But then again, here's kind of the drawbacks there. If other people, because I know now other people think that going to the cinema alone is kind of sad, you can be kind of shown as an outcast, even though it is a dark room. You can be kind of pushed aside, seeing as like the weirdo of society, which I know some people feel like that already. But it's just one of those things where you may feel a bit out of place when you go to the cinema, or people may feel less kind, or you may feel vulnerable to bigger groups who may, I don't know, throw popcorn at yours, or I don't know what happens in cinemas. But there is also that kind of, if you're alone in a cinema, or if you're alone in the journey going to a cinema or something like that, you don't, there's no interaction, you're not socializing a lot, and therefore, you're not contributing to society or something like that. And it's just one of those things where basically, this is the part where I ramble on, and no one really understands what I'm saying. So, apologies if you don't know. But this is kind of, if you're going to the cinema alone, it can kind of feel like, 'cause I know some people feel a lot more confident when they are with friends, because if it's a comedy or something like that, you know, they're free to kind of laugh, or even like, you know, after the film you do want to kind of talk about what just happened, if it was good, if it wasn't, if a sequel come out, what do you think about the film, blah 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 blah. Yeah, and if you're alone you can't really talk about that unless you like, use your phone, which has been turned off hopefully. But then again, it kind of, you know, it kind of got me thinking. If you want to go to the cinema alone, why don't you kind of just stay at home, watch on the computer or something like that? Obviously, the experience is slightly different, but that's how kind of some people see it. You know, I don't know. It's just that sort of thing that I kind of did want to discuss. And obviously, I kind of want to jump into the benefits of going in a group, because I don't want to feel like I've been one-sided to the whole thing. But, you know, if you're going as a group, you know, I think tickets can be sometimes cheaper. It's a lot more fun going in groups, you know, it kind of shows your dominance. I don't know if some people like that, but, you know, if you're going into a cinema and you're the biggest group, it kind of makes your group seem special or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. What also could happen is, if you go into groups, you know, you could do something beforehand. I know I talked about peer pressure, but, you know, it could be fun doing something beforehand or doing something after the whole film, and even talking about, you know, it kind of gets you socializing and interacting with not only the film but other people, and you just, yeah. It's just that sort of stuff. Anyway, I've probably rambled on a bit too much, but it was just one of those days where I was like, I should talk about something. Oh, wait, no, I missed something. It's just one of those days. But, yeah,